Hello, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion. We are Group 238, and today we are presenting the final product of our teaching practice for Phase 5. My name is Estefania Gomez Garcia, and I am the moderator of this panel. With me are my teammates Byron Stewart Regimfo Ruiz, Karen Juliana Muñoz Suarez, and Jason Arley Ramirez Gaviria, who will each share their reflections and insights from this academic process. For this presentation, we prepared an academic poster titled Strengthening English Skills Through Fun and Engaging Activities. This poster summarizes the innovative vocabulary and speaking activities that we designed using project based learning and communicative language teaching principles. Our goal was to create dynamic, meaningful, and enjoyable learning experiences that help its students improve their English in real and practical ways. Throughout this panel, we will briefly explain the most important aspects of our poster, and then each member of the team will answer the guiding questions provided by the course. As a group, we aim to show how these activities can motivate students, promote interaction, and make language learning more engaging, especially in diverse classroom contexts. Thank you for joining us, and let's begin with the first part of our poster presentation. To start, we will look at the main purpose of our project and the objective we aim to achieve. This section explains why these activities are meaningful for English learning and how they support motivation and communication. I will now give the floor to Byron, who will present section 1.
Okay, now we have the project overview and objectives. This project is made to strengthen students' vocabulary and speaking skills through some creative student centered activities. Each task is made to promote real communication, active participation, and meaningful learning in context. For this, we have four objectives that are the next. The first one is develop essential vocabulary through interactive engaging tasks. The second one is building speaking confidence using real life communication situations. The third one is foster students' motivation, autonomy, and teamwork. And the fourth one is integrate project based learning and communicative language teaching principles.
Next, we move on to the section 2, where we describe the 5 activities included in our proposal. Each activity was designed to make learning fun, dynamic, and purposeful. To explain this part, I invite my classmate Karen to continue with this presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Karen Juliana Muñoz Suarez. Today I will explain the Smart Career Activity Design. This activity was created to help students learn vocabulary in a fun and interactive ways. This activity uses digital tools and encourage participation, communication, and creativity. Activity 1 is Word Quest Adventure. In this activity, students review vocabulary with my flashcard in the Enter a Genially game. Ace stop as small changes like pronunciation, tasks or materialize. Students work in the pairs and finish by creative and small digital poster with new words. Activity 2 is Digital Escape Room. Students solve vocabulary puzzles what clues the correct matches and complemented the to escape the room. All the changes help them practice vocabulary in a real life context. Activity 3 is a vocabulary postcard. Here students use to like, quizzes, or memorize to creative flashcard with audio, example, and explain repetition. This helps them remember vocabulary better and track their progress. Activity 4 Its vocabulary mission students report sample mission every with like 10 talking photos, recording, and short videos or matching words. The poster they result on the Padlet of Phyllis in earphones. They keeps the motivation and practice vocabulary every day. Activity 5. In real-time scenes, students watch in the short real-life videos the creator or snake uses the target vocabulary. They record the testament share, they take videos and receive peer feedback. Oral, the activity covered technology, creative, and communication to help students learn vocabulary in a memory-full way. Thank you.
In the third section, we outline how these activities can be implemented in a real classroom setting. This includes planning, timing, and the role of digital tools. I now invite my classmate Jason to present the implementation and assessment plan.
Hello everyone, thank you, classmate. My name is Jason Ramirez. This is the implementation and assessment plan. Okay, assessment plan methods for material assessment include breath feedback during activities, simple self-peer, checklist, and participation targeting to monitor engagement and progress. So material assessment is based on final products such as record, sense, vocabulary, posters, and digital mission. Okay, rubric overview. A short rubric is applied to evaluate key aspects of each final task. Vocabulary accuracy, frequency, clarity, ability to speak or present ideas clearly with minimal hesitation. Creativity, originality, and effort uh, showing the poster, scene, or mission. Task completion, fulfillment of the activities, recurrence with organization, uh, and coherence. Implementation plan, week one, workplace adventure vocabulary around the classroom using images and clues. In week two, a digital escape room, a simple English puzzle and clues to unlock each stage. Week three, AI vocabulary, cards mass missions, use pictures, cards to complete your vocabulary change. Week four, real target sense, act out everyday mini dialogues, um, and using learned words. And final step, or step five, way up and speak. Short tasks using project and vocabulary. Okay, thank you, my next classmate.
To finish our poster presentation, we will move on to the section 4, which includes the conclusions and the educational impact of our project. This part summarizes what we learned from designing the activities and explains how these strategies can improve vocabulary learning, speaking confidence, and student participation. Okay, finally, the conclusion and educational impact. To conclude, our project shows that English learning becomes much more meaningful when students participate in activities that are fun, engaging, and connected to real communication. Instead of focusing on memorization, we used games, storytelling, digital missions, and real life dialogues to help students interact with the language in a natural way. What makes this project innovative is how it combines technology, creativity, and collaborative work. These activities not only build vocabulary and speaking skills, but also help students gain confidence, work as a team, and enjoy the learning process. The educational impact is clear by using approaches like communicative language teaching and project based learning. We create an environment where students feel motivated and capable of expressing themselves. They learn English with purpose, not pressure. Overall, this project reminds us that teaching English is about creating meaningful experiences where students feel supported and inspired to communicate. And that is what truly transforms learning. Now that we have finished presenting our poster and each of its main sections, we will move on the second part of our panel, the guiding questions. These questions invite us to reflect on our teaching practice, what we learn throughout the course, and how these experiences shape us as future English teachers. Each member of the group will answer these questions sharing personal insights and meaningful reflections. So let's begin with the answers.
8. What was the most valued experience from your teacher practice? Answer. The most valued experience from my teacher practice was having the chance to interact with real students. I learning how to manage a classroom, give clear instructions, and adapt activities when sometimes did worse. These experiences helped me understand that every student learning differently, and as teacher, I need to be practice and flexible. B. How did your view of language acquisition evolve during the course? Answer. My view of language acquisition changes because I realized that students learning a new language better where they receive simple, mindful, you understand. The learning happens step by step through practice repetitions and real communication. This course helped me see that mistakes are normal and part of the learning process. See, with my activity from the Agora poster inspired the most and why? Answer. The activity that inspired me the most was the poster that included interactive games. Each other house game con activity students and make the learning easier to understand. I like this activity because it combines learning with fun and it also helps students participate more and they feel confident. D. What do you take away from the Agora event as a future teacher? Answer. From the Agora event, I take away the importance of using creative and dynamic strategies in the front. I also learning how collaboration and sharing ideas with other teachers can improve my practice. As a future teacher, I feel more motivation to design activities that are mindful and help students connect with the language in a natural way.
Now I'm going to give my answers to the guiding questions. A. What was the most valuable experience from your teaching practice? I think my most valuable experience was analyzing and giving feedback of another classes. It was very useful to watch those classes and think about what could be better or what could I improve. B. How did your view of language acquisition evolve during the course? Well, my view of the language acquisition just changed a bit. My methods of language acquisition will continue the same, but I will add some more and get some help with it. See, which activity from the Agora posters inspired you most and why? The poster of building confident through interactive English learning activities was the one that inspires me the most because it talks about a topic that I have a bit weak which is the confident at the time to interact in English. So listen to different method of that topic. It really inspires me. What do you take away from the Agora event as a future teacher? I think I can take away how to organize the time in a presentation. That was the most important thing that I can take from the Agora event besides everything that was present.
Okay, the most valuable part of my teaching practice was realizing how much students can change when the activities truly connect with their lives. I noticed that when lessons are fun, meaningful, and based on real communication, students participate more and feel more confident. I also learned how important it is to support students emotionally. Sometimes a little patience, encouragement, or a simple "you can do it" makes a big difference. Overall, the experience taught me that teaching is not only about methods or planning, but about connecting with the students and helping them feel capable of learning. My view of language learning changed a lot during this course. I used to focus mainly on vocabulary and grammar, but now I understand that language is learned through interaction, meaningful input, and engaging activities. I realized that students learn better when they feel motivated and safe to participate, and when activities allow them to use English in real contexts. The course also helped me see how technology, games, and collaborative work can make the learning process more dynamic and effective. Now I see language acquisition as a whole process that involves not only the mind, but also emotions and social experiences. The activity that inspired me the most was the project titled Building Confidence Through Interactive English Learning Activities. What really caught my attention was how the group focused on reducing anxiety and increasing students' confidence when speaking English, a challenge that many learners face, especially in virtual environments. I found their approach very creative because they used music, games, recordings, and even AI generated images to make speaking less intimidating. For example, the karaoke activity and the sing and speak task showed how music can help students practice pronunciation in a fun and natural way. I also like the AI Image Description Challenge because it encouraged students to describe images using prepositions, working collaboratively, and checking answers together. What inspired me the most is that all these activities were simple, engaging, and highly effective for building confidence step by step. Instead of forcing students to speak, they created a safe, playful environment where participation felt natural. I think this is a powerful reminder that confidence does not grow through pressure, but through meaningful, enjoyable experiences that make students feel capable and supported. Okay, what I take away from the Agora event as a future teacher is a renewed sense of how powerful creativity and collaboration can be in the English classroom. Seeing different groups present their ideas helped me understand that there is not just one way to teach. There are many paths, and each one can be meaningful when it connects with a student's real needs and emotions. The Agora showed me that innovation does not always depend on technology. Sometimes the most effective activities are those that make students feel safe, motivated, and part of a community. I also learned the importance of designing learning experiences that build confidence, not just linguistic accuracy. Many posters highlighted how students open up and participate more when we use music, games, projects, and contextualized tasks. As a future teacher, this event reminded me that my role goes beyond teacher vocabulary or grammar. It's about inspiring students, reducing their fears, and helping them discover their own abilities. The Agora reinforced my commitment to teaching with empathy, creativity, and purpose, always keeping the human side of learning at the center.
What was the most valuable experience for you teaching practice? Okay, I believe the most valuable experience is understanding that we can implement strategies to minimize the fear and the anxiety of participating in class. Um, and that we can use and approach, which includes both current tools such as AI, for example, and traditional ones like the dictionary or English text, for example, okay, and other tools. What was the most valuable experience from your teaching experience? Okay, my perspective changed significantly. Um, what impacted me the most and truly involved in my view was understanding that the social context plays a major role in that creating a second languages. I realized that about myself um, and for my future students, it will best be essential to find motivation in order to make progress in the acquisition of foreign languages. Really. Which activity from the Agora poster inspired you most and why? Okay. The activity that inspired me the most was Speaking Voice by my classmates Natalia Andrea Bando, and Felipe Bedoya, and Just Blade Arce, because they spoke about the importance of using the new technologies and how we can apply tools such as virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and platforms with like Duolingo to learn English in house. Uh, these new tools are very important for learn English in uh, in house. Okay, what do you take away from the Agora event as future teacher? Um, I take away understanding that there is still much work to be done. Uh, and that there are many tools and options available to learn and teach foreign languages. I just learned from my classmates presentation that is important to overcome fear and dare to speak in public even if we make mistakes.